Michael. How are you?
Good. You hear me good?
I can hear you good. How is everything with you?
Yeah.
Everything good? In good form?
Pardon?
Everything in good form?
Yeah, everything good form.
That's good. Let's talk about my years with UFO. 50 years since the first works. It's been quite a long journey for you. How do you feel about your career, for over than 50 years, actually?
Well, I'm very happy I lasted that long, and and I'm very happy that I pursued my vision, pure self-expression over the 50 years, not selling out, and being an artist and making, putting together notes that create fun.
Yeah.
you know.
And for this record, obviously the songs were written already. Was it easy, difficult to get all those guests on the album?
Well, it kind of happened in many different ways. Like I bumped into a few people, and we asked them, and the record company had some ideas, like Erik and Kai, which I didn't know, but I listened to them on YouTube, and I was thought they're really good. I said, yes to that, and then some ideas came from Michael Voss. So we kind of, came from different directions. I mean, Slash was telling me that Axl was also interested when he came to the studio. And so he actually recorded 3 songs. He was actually singing on Too Hot to Handle, Only You Can Rock Me, and Love to Love. But he wasn't happy actually with neither version. And they were in the middle of a tour. He's a perfectionist. And so he decided to just focus on Love to Love, and he did a fantastic job. And everybody did a great job. And it was really, really fun for me to listen to the end results of, singers that I didn't expect to come across that strong, like Dee Snider and Axl. And then, of course, Joey Tempest, I always knew that he was going to be doing a good job. And, and some others, but some really, I was really surprised. I mean, I was surprised by Roger Glover's bass playing. It was so beautiful. I didn't know he can play that well. I mean, I've known Deep Purple for over 50 years, but I never paid much attention to the bass playing, but really good.
Yeah. And, Erik, obviously, it's a big surprise. Big surprise in the sense that you're going to bring him on tour and he's going to be on your next MSG record. Were you surprised when you listened to his vocals? And because his range is absolutely insane.
Yeah, absolutely insane. That's what I would say. yeah, absolutely.
Did he surprise you when he recorded the song? What was your reaction?
I was listening to it with my partner, and we looked at each other and went, wow, that was it.
And was that moment that you decided to work with him for the Michael Schenker Group album next?
I have already recorded 3 albums. And so I wanted to make 3 albums and at the same time to summit for a summit what I've been doing in the past 50 years. So which basically is UFO, Michael Schenker Group, and instrumental music. So I started off in 23 in June. I did the UFO thing. Then I did the Michael Schenker Group thing, which is going to be called "Don't Sell Your Soul." And it's most of the songs are sung by Erik Gronwall, and some of them by Robin McCauley, and then some by Michael Voss. And then the 3rd album I started after that. So that will be released in 25, as far as I know. And then the instrumental album actually ended up into a beautiful vocal album. And as I was putting down my guitars, Michael Voss was singing so beautifully, and I said to him, man, this is getting really good. We should put the vocals on. So we invited Herman Rebel on drums, and so someone had the idea to tune down to 432, like Dark Side of the Moon. Apparently, it's the vibration of the universe, and so we did that. And this album has become like my favorite album at this point in time. It's really really good. I mean, I'm very you won't believe it's me, or it's it's a you will be shocked a little, but it's really good.
So for Freedom of Expression, the third record, we're going to have to wait until 2026.
Yeah, 26, Freedom of Expression, and 25, Don't Sell Your Soul, and yeah.
Yeah, and that's that's good. You are one of those guitar players that every time I listen to you, I want to grab my flying V and start playing, but I'm not that good.
Yeah. Well, you have fun. That's good enough.
Yeah. When do going back just to the UFO, you were like 17, 18 years old when you left the Scorpions to join the UFO. Was there much of a cultural difference of way of working between, what you were used to the Scorpions to when you joined UFO?
No, because I have been focusing on lead guitar playing ever since I was started 9 years old, and so I always told the Scorpions that if an English band would ever approach me, a big band or a small band, whatever, I would go, I would leave, because I wanted to be in England. That's where all the artists came from. All that what I loved was coming from England. In Germany, people didn't understand what I was doing, so England was a great place. And so, and it happened. And when it happened, the Scorpions were not that shocked, because they knew I prepared them. I found them a good replacement, Uli Ross. So they still did well. And and so that was basically my journey, and those were my developing years, from my first recording with the Scorpions, 15 years old, all the way to Strangers in the Night. That was the one chapter of extreme development.
Yeah, and for you, if you could choose the ultimate UFO song that you wrote, what would be that song?
I have ultimate. My whole. I'm a lead guitarist. Lead guitarists are different than they don't necessarily go by songs.
Yeah,
it's art, and it's part of a beautiful picture, and so basically it's kind of also step by step I develop, and every step, every moment has a different surrounding. It's never possible to compare different steps, because the circumstances and everything around it is different every moment. And so, whatever you do shines in the moment when it shines, but that's the way it goes. And so I also, I prefer to look at an album as a whole, rather than tearing it apart and taking the songs out. I like to listen to an album and go on a journey. That's what I love to do. But of course, then, the fans and people, they pick their favorites, and you hear about them. And so I can say that, songs like, obviously, the songs that we have chosen as singles, they're the most popular, but then there are some sleeping giants like Try Me, Belladonna, and Lipstick Traces, Between the Wall. There is all this kind of more quieter music, but really nice. I enjoy listen to, and there is just it's all part of one album, because I like to create a bit of the different moods as well, rather than sticking just with one thing. Yeah, and it's difficult, and plus it's all development. I mean, I'm still developing today, so I never stop developing, and I prefer to be in the now, and I don't go back and listen all day long to what I have done in the past. It's done, And so I focus my energy on current things, like something I want to do now, and so that's my focus point.
Yeah, and when you already recorded 3 albums in a row, obviously we talked the My Years with UFO was already written many years ago. Obviously, are you always writing music? Are you always collecting ideas?
Yeah, collecting ideas. Yeah, of course. I go on a treasure hunt every day when I play, and I put those treasures to the side for the moment when I make a new album.
Yeah, is it you still have fun playing? Discovering new melodies. Is that still a
Yeah.
good challenge for you?
No, it's a pure self-expression is a different thing altogether. If you follow a trend, you can get stuck. But
Yeah.
if you do pure self-expression, it's endless. I mean, there is so much in your head or in my head that can be expressed that has never been expressed before. So, and being an artist, there is not really bad or good. I mean, you express something you want to express, and therefore it's really, you don't really judge. Just some people like it, some people don't.
Yeah, and I remember when we talked like a few years ago, you said that you didn't listen to any new bands. Is that still the case? You still don't listen to what's happening in the rock world?
Yeah, I did in the beginning when I was, like jump started, by inspired by, all the late 60 guitarists. But then 15 years old, I already subconsciously, I had that, I knew that there was something I wanted to do. And when I was 18, I made that decision to stay away from music, to self-express, because when I heard the guitarists in the late 60s, they all had their own style. It was really good. It was like everything was like, wow, this is great. Oh, this is great. All different. But the 80s, everything was the same, and that was basically, watered down 70s, made it simple and commercialize it and make money. But the 70s was the late 60s guitarists. It was art, there was a pure artist.
Yeah, and are you still searching for the perfect riff, the perfect guitar solo? Will that ever happen for anyone? Actually,
Oh no, if you self-express, every riff is perfect.
yeah. Probably some people wouldn't agree with that,
No,
but
because they may be more stuck in a trend.
yeah. How can you, be inspired, every day to write music, and being able to still be original in what you do?
Well, inspired. It's just to be yourself. When you're yourself, you don't get inspired by the external world. You get inspired by something that is within myself that I want to express, and I can do that anytime.
Yeah. And next year, you already announced some shows for these My Years with UFO. You're going to tour with Erik as the singer. Are you planning, more dates like for Europe or the United States, whatever? Is there more dates planned for next year?
Yeah, we're looking at well, we have offered a European tour, and with Erik singing, and we're working on a US tour with Erik singing, and we're doing Wacken, Alcatraz so far on a festival level that I know of. Then there's also Michael Voss, my co-producer, told me that Axl Rose would be interested in doing Japan, and that all of that is for 2025.
Okay. Well, that would be very interesting that in Japan with Axl Rose. And the question that some people ask, obviously with the career you had with UFO, would you still be up for one show, like a very big special show with Phil and Andy? Do you believe that could happen?
I have no idea. I don't focus on things like that. I mean, I don't walk through life hypothetical. I just look at what is and not what is not or could be. But it's somebody taps me on the shoulder and says, "Hey, Michael, oh, what?" And then I start focusing.
Yeah, cool. Michael, thank you very much for your time, and all the best for my years with UFO for the tour. I hope to see you in Portugal because you haven't been here. I don't know. I don't think you ever played here, or if you have, it's been a long, long time. We need to bring you back to Portugal. And, I'm looking forward. I saw you last year in Dublin, a couple years before in Barcelona. So if you don't play Portugal, I will go after you somewhere in Europe, all right?
Okay.
Thank you very much for your time. All the best. And
Yeah.
it's always a pleasure to hear you play guitar. You are truly an inspiration, not just for me, but for a lot of people. So thank you for all these over 50 years of great music. And I'm looking forward for the rest of the records you still have to put out. All right?
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Take
much. Have a
care.
great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.